Tyler, great to see you here. We made it to Indianapolis. Great finish last year in P2. What takeaways can you take from last season and being back at the Oval this year?
Yeah, for us, it was the first time racing the next-gen car on the oval, and I think everybody was really curious to see what the racing was going to be like, how the tire would change as it would gain heat, and so it was really, really nice to be able to come here and be as fast as we were, have a shot at it for sure. So, yeah, we tried to learn as much as we could from it. Obviously, again, with it being the first time in such a long time on the oval, uh, a lot of learning was happening quickly, and it's going to be interesting to see how much better everyone's gotten in the year since we raced here.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with that turn one always being very tight. What have you taken away from that, especially when everyone's trying to get down to the bottom, lap after lap, trying to keep that momentum going?
Yeah, at the very end of the race last year, it got very interesting. You had the cars up front that were saving fuel, and everyone behind that wasn't. And just where you were getting to people on the corner entry was very last minute, and there were some big dive bombs. So, again, I'm very curious to see what it kind of looks like in practice for year two, and more so, especially in the race, how much that's going to come into play again this time around.
And obviously there is the lawsuit going on in the open charters, and you are sitting there well seated at the owner points, but how does that change things when there's open entries? They did change for 40 entries allowed, but any different style you're going to go for, stage wins, points?
Yeah, no comment on that. Yeah.
I know that's a tough one, but just being around here, the energy is still pretty high. Everyone seems to be in good spirits just week after week. Just have to think of, what does this do for the team?
I mean, yeah, our team's just doing a great job. We've been kind of having to grind it out this year. Obviously, not having the win for any of our cars is tough, but the speed and performance that we're bringing to the racetrack is good. Adding on the third car this year with Riley in it in the 35. You got to go out and find good people to staff that car. You got to have more depth in the pit department, and I feel like everybody's done a good job with that adjustment as we continue to grow and have more cars that we got to pump out every single weekend, and more people under the roof at airspeed that make it all happen.
Great team to have and great teammates, and your leader and co-owner Denny Hamlin won last week at Dover, signed an extension with Joe Gibbs. Is there a different perspective you have in that he's secured racing as a driver, but as an owner, maybe the position is in question with the lawsuit?
Yeah,
that's
comment.
a tough one.
No
Yeah,
comment.
yeah. Sorry about that. But is there anything you can learn from his racing and late into his career, takeaways from him as well as your teammates?
Yeah, no. I knew him somewhat, as a competitor, but getting to know him as a team owner, getting to know him as a driver, on a deeper level. Now that I drive for him, we're all Toyota drivers. It's been really beneficial to be able to lean on him for things that I know a little bit about, but have a lot of learning left to do. And so, yeah, whether it's been the short tracks or things that he's picked up on over the years that applies to all different types of racetracks that we go to, he's been a huge benefit for me, and just getting me to understand things from a more of a veteran's perspective. Not all veterans are the same. He's definitely the one that stands out to me, that just his racing awareness, understanding what he wants out of his race car, is at a level that some drivers dream of having that don't ever get it.
And you guys have the 2311 teams. They've been wanting to find more speed, but what can you do to manage maybe that potential setback, but having great strength here in the past 2 years, or in the past year?
You just got to go into these race weekends and take advantage of your strengths. You always want to try and improve on your weaknesses, whatever tracks those might be. But yeah, for us, this organization, we got to take advantage of. Well, I guess we don't know. We haven't been on track yet this weekend, but looking at last year, all the cars were really strong, and so if a lot of that remains to be the same tomorrow and Sunday, we've got to take advantage of it and execute. We got to qualify up front. We got to run up front to get those stage points, and then hopefully have a shot at winning the race.
Well, best of luck tomorrow. Hopefully you get a crown jewel, get to kiss the bricks here in Indianapolis. What would it feel to grab that one here?
Yeah, I know. When we race the road course, I guess that, in a lot of eyes, it's not the same crown jewel event as the Brickyard 400. So, getting kiss the bricks once was a very special moment. It was my second Cup victory. So, it would be great to do it on the oval. And again, it stings in some ways that we were so close last year and just one spot short. But it was nice that we were that competitive. It's always a great feeling to have as a driver when you can come to Indy, whether it's the road course or the big track, and be competitive. That's, as someone that grows up watching races here, understanding the history, and having a huge appreciation for how much the place means to racing in general. It's always great to be able to come to Indy and feel like you can contend for the win.
Well, thank you so much. I know I sent some hard ones your way, but I appreciate you taking the time and talking with me. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.